Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today is a very special episode. We are welcoming back Bowen, who is managing attorney over at the Bowen Law Firm, and I'm proud to announce an author in our most recent book. Hey, Bo, first off, I just want to say welcome back to the show.
Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
All right, so kind of a little bit of a spoiler alert, but for everybody watching, Bo is also going to be participating in our very first audiobook as a company. I'm so thrilled. This is going to be a compilation of some of our best authors in our entire catalog of 300 plus authors. So we got a lot to talk about, Bo. So today we're going to dive into, of course, your content. We're going to talk about Bowen Law Firm and really just catch up and see what you've been up to. Been a couple months since we've been back and forth. But we'll start this episode the way that we start them all, with our Mission Matters Minute. So, Bo, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Bo, what mission matters to you?
Well, for me, because I'm a law firm, I want to create a family-friendly law firm, a place where our clients know that we understand their objectives. We know what's important to our people, that we're responsible and efficient, exceeding client expectations by being strategic, creative, innovative, but all the while upholding the highest level of professional integrity and responsibility. We like to approach the law by causing no unnecessary harm. We'd rather not use it to threaten or coerce, but to inspire and implement real solutions that can help keep families together, because we are a family-centered law firm. So in essence, I want a law firm that helps our clients create a better future.
Well, Bo, one of the reasons I love bringing you on is because the way that you do business and the way you conduct your firm, I feel it's very unique. It's a huge high value add. And by the way, this isn't just my opinion, because I like you. I mean, the Google reviews, all of that. I don't know if Google knew we were talking today. So everything's probably connected somewhere. But I know I wrote a review for you, I don't know, maybe a year ago, because, you're my go-to guy. And I'm just, and today I got a little notice that said, I had over 500 views in that review. I sent it to you. I'm like, hey, how does Google know? But I guess if you got something good going on, it wants to push it. I'm not to put you on the spot, but roughly how many reviews do you have now? Because that thing keeps piling up.
Yes, I'm at, I believe, 877. I'm shooting for that 1,000. Of course, I want 2,000 once I get there, but I'm at 877, I believe.
Man, and so again, that's for those that, I shop and I make decisions just in general on reviews. So that's just letting so everybody knows, I'm not being biased here. Like Google doesn't lie on that one. Well, let's first off, I do want to still spend a little bit of time on really how you got started. I want to assume our show's grown. We've been very blessed, and I don't want to assume that all of our new listeners maybe caught some of the previous work we've done together. So maybe just talk a little bit more about how you got on this path to starting the Bowen Law Firm.
Yes, sir. I guess in a sense, I wanted to be an attorney since I was knee high to a duck. I, I didn't even know what law school really was, and you had to go to undergrad, none of that stuff. Most of the people in my family never went to college, so I didn't know where to turn to learn it. This was before the internet and everything else. Everything was encyclopedias in. It's just a passion I've had again since I was knee high to a duck, and I fought for it. I ended up going to the Navy, did my time in Iraq to get money for school, because I didn't pick the right path on the way here. But as long as you learn from it, right? It's not a mistake, it's a lesson. And worked my way through law school. I had the support of my wife, been married 21 plus years.
Wow.
I definitely couldn't have done this alone. I mean, I've been surrounded by so many wonderful people. There's just so many people I have to say thank you to for helping me get to where I am today. So in my opinion, a heck of a support base is essential. And I've been blessed with one.
So I will definitely circle back to the Bowen Law Firm, because I want to get into maybe some of the specifics and what you do on a day-to-day. But before we do that, I got to get into this main event. I can't really hold back any longer. I love talking about books. For everybody that's watching this show, that's been watching this for a while, I can't help it. I love, whether there are books, whether it's an author that wrote a book, not through Mission Matters or other publishers, I don't care. I think becoming an author is just one of the most amazing things that a person can do, to share their story, to lend their knowledge, their advice, their life, really, to open up their life for the benefit of others through sharing story, I think is one of the most amazing things a person can do. So, Bo, your particular content in this was it's never as bad as you think. Now, some of the chapters, I'll give a kind of a brief overview for everybody watching or listening to this. You're not as alone as you think. You most likely have more options than you realize. Trying is usually better than doing nothing. The worst
Always.
scenario is rarely going to happen, and sleep on it. So we're going to unpack a few of these items, and for everybody watching, don't worry, like pick up a book. You can pick up a copy. We'll have a link to it in the show notes. Of course, we do sell books. But Bo, first off, like a lot of different things that you could have written about, either from the legal perspective or from your entrepreneurial perspective, because you got a lot of experience. Why this kind of angle on what you presented to the readers?
I deal with it on a regular basis within my job. People coming in, always assuming worst case scenario, and that's
Yeah.
usually not it. It's good to now see it, your worst case versus your best, but it's rarely ever that. And if it is that, it's not as bad as you think typically when you get there and when we're done. And people sometimes give up well before the fight even started. And I don't want them to do that. There's so much out there that we can still get and gain. Just get up, try. So what if you fail? I tell my daughters all the time, if you're not failing, you're not trying. And I don't tolerate that. You only can do your best by doing your best and trying to fail. Push yourself. If you fail, great. Now you know what you got to get past.
Yeah.
And it's not a failure, it's a goal. And helping people get past that, getting the right mindset, especially for a legal case that's going to take years, it helps. It's beneficial.
Yeah. Where do you think you get that from? Is that something that you're born with? Is there like how do you think, where do you think that attitude developed?
Wow. I don't like Lady Gaga said, I guess you're born that way. I've been my whole life I've been that way. Now, to be fair, there was an epiphany about halfway through my life, my early 20s, where someone was pointing out I was playing the victim. And I didn't like it when I heard it. I still don't like the person who told me that, but they were right.
Yeah.
And when I started thinking about it more and looked at myself and looked at what I could control versus what they did, I felt more empowered. And that's what my clients want. That's what I want to do for them. And just shifting this a little bit makes all the difference in the world. It doesn't matter what they did wrong. What could I have done different? I'm in control, not them. And having that, I'm telling you, it helps you sleep.
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of pick out of the content, you're not as alone as you think. Like this idea of we're supposed to have everything figured out, or that I'm the only one going through this or that or something else. To me, at the root of all this, I feel like that need for like human connection, like it's primal. Like we all want to feel like understood. We all want to feel connected. We don't want to feel alone. Like as humans, we're made to be in communities. Like tell me a little bit more about your ideas and kind of this piece of it.
Well, that I got from more of a Jerry Spence. I was blessed to go to his ranch a couple of years ago and work with him. And he has this saying about it's all your approach. And then he also talks about how we're more alike than different. And it's true. We are significant, no matter where you come from, where you hail, what God you pray to. We are a lot more alike than we are ever going to be different. And we got to focus on those similarities. And that's what brings us together. We all have problems with mother-in-laws. We all have problems with our kids. All right. We all have money issues. No matter, even Bill Gates has issues with money. Okay. Everyone has certain stressors. And those is what we should be able to connect on. Instead of looking at the dang differences, focus on what we do have together.
Yeah.
And every father can connect with another father. Same with mothers. If I'm biased, I'm a father, right? But and again, I got that from Jerry. I didn't really realize that till a couple of years ago. But I had to look. I had to change my approach and start trying to find the similarities instead of seeing the big, oh, we're different. No. Again, we're significantly more common with most people than you believe. Give them a chance. Listen to them.
Yeah. And I think some people kind of do that intuitively. I'll just be upfront, like I'm not one of those people. Like it took me time, and I still struggle with sometimes being a little closed off, and I'm like, or this or that. I mean, I guess maybe growing up in Detroit in the 80s, it was just a different upbringing. I don't know, like to be guarded and to be like to have that different side of you. I have that. So now that I'm in this entrepreneurial world, the last 7 years or so, and I'm not just a, corporate America guy where everything's pretty structured. Like I kind of struggle sometimes with thinking about like collaboration and how this looks, and putting yourself out there, not just behind or in front of a camera. Like that's still, there's still a wall there, but like getting messy, getting in front of people, like being up there in the audience and all those other things. So it's different
I
for
think
me.
it's more about making yourself vulnerable, putting
Yeah.
yourself out there. And it's not easy to do, but they can't help you. They can't really connect that level until you have. And this is
Hmm.
going back to Jerry Spence. He's a fantastic attorney. He's retired now, has lots of books, but How to Argue and Win Every Time is one of the reasons I became an attorney. How to Win Your
Hmm.
Case is one we studied when we were going to his trial college. A very good books. And it touches on a lot of things you're saying there, but the power of vulnerability. And
Hmm.
one of the things we have to do is that we have to share something with ourselves for them to
Hmm.
be able to share. Don't ask something from them you can't do yourself. He
Yeah.
has a saying where you show me yours, I show you mine. Well, that's what it's that's this little skit about kids and such. It's
Yeah.
cute,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it's true. So if you want to be able to be open, connect with someone, you have to be willing to do it and open yourself up too. Yes, there's a risk you can get hurt, but oddly enough,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to. The odds are
Yeah.
in your favor that they want to connect to. They need it just as bad as you do.
Hmm. Now I can't, like, obviously I've only lived in my shoes in my generation, so I can't speak from previous ones, but it seems as though, as we progress as a society, like we're not early industrial revolution days where everything was like literally possibly life or death, depending on
Right.
what industry you're in. And you talk about like, real tough business. I believe that those days were maybe a little bit harder than now in certain ways. But that being said, I feel like they're not saying it wasn't the right thing to do in the past, but now it seems to me like authenticity, there's a business case for authenticity, not that it's just the right thing to do or we want to do it or we want to do better work. Like to me, I feel that many times authenticity is rewarded nowadays.
Yes, I have to agree. People are more open to you being unique and different than they were, in my opinion, in my youth.
Hmm.
Uh, but yes, sure. But that's a good thing, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I do too.
One of my
So
buddies says it's like the rise of the nerds time. Like, remember the nerds were getting picked on back in the day and the jocks were popular? There's been this shift. And so, I mean, some of it's good, I guess some of it's bad, but
yeah,
I think people should be allowed to be themselves and not, of
for
course, picked
sure.
on. And so I do like that change.
Yeah. I want to pull out one other piece from the book specifically, and again for everybody watching, pick up a copy of the book for sure, so that you can get more of this info. But this one, I mean,
It's on
this
Amazon, right?
absolutely, it's all over the place, and there'll be some links in the show notes and all that good stuff for them to click on. But one other piece that I want to pull out is sleep on it. So this is the one. I might not have done the other one intuitively, but man, I'm a sleep on it thinker. I have to. Where'd you come up with this, or when did that start for you?
I was serving, I was giving lots of briefings. I was an
Mm.
oxymoron in the Navy. I was military intelligence. So
Yeah.
I did a lot of briefings and things like that. And I had the privilege and the honor to present to, at that
Mm.
point, General Colin Powell. And that he actually wrote that in his
Wow,
book.
you got to present Colin Powell. It's amazing.
I got to present a lot of cool people back in the
Wow.
day.
I
Military
wrote my
briefings.
thesis on him like in college, I remember, a
Yeah.
long time ago. Like I studied a lot of Colin Powell.
If you ever get a chance to meet him, you can see what I mean.
Yeah.
You can feel him before he comes in a room. The man has this presence. It's just,
Mhm.
you kind of feel like you're in this higher being at times. But he's humble. He was friendly, and
Yeah.
I don't normally get. He has that when you see him, like, oh my gosh, it's General Powell.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's got
that's where I
star
got it from
power. I'll
his
be
book.
upfront. He's
Oh
got
yes,
star power. I've seen how others, like how actual celebrities react to him when he walks in the room. He just has it. Whatever that is, he's got it. Go ahead. Sorry.
it was him and Jerry Spence are the only two times ever. I mean, I've ran into professional football players, but you name all that, they didn't
Mhm.
care. Those
Yeah.
two guys just had this. When you came around, you just felt more humble just to be there. I'm hoping I can get that someday. I'm cultivating it. But
Yeah.
these guys are special characters. But that's why I learned from them. They're better than me.
Mhm.
I'm trying to become more like them. But
Mhm.
General Powell wrote in his book, "Sleep on It," and I can get emotional. I'm an attorney. I'm paid to convey the feelings in a good way.
Mhm.
But that's not always the best to act off of is emotions. So I have found
Yeah.
sleep on it. And if it still bothers me the next morning, well, keep looking into it. If it
Mhm.
doesn't, and most of the time it doesn't, let it go.
Hmm. All right,
Go
I
ahead.
said I was going to only do one more. Let's do one more. I want to provide some extra value for everybody watching. Um, Trying is you. Oh no, I like this one. This was a great one. Well, they're all good, but this one just hit me. The worst case scenario is rarely going to happen. So I'll tell you, like this has been another thing that it's easier said than done, especially when that fear sets in. Like, how do you deal with this?
Well, you look at the worst case, and then you look at the best case. And then you can look at the history and what's happened and where we are, and you realize, yes, you may lose the sun, moon, and stars, but in reality, you're going to get the beach, and you're going to be happy with the beach. This is how it goes. Rarely does anyone ever get everything, or vice versa. The laws are usually courts of equity,
Yeah.
fairness. It's not fair when people are just being bamboozled or ran over, and the law doesn't usually account for that anyway. So even though it
Mm,
could possibly happen, the odds are rarely ever is it going to.
mm,
In fact, you cannot have a case sometimes and sue and still get something. So because you sued, it's usually get rid of you and can follow through the
yeah.
process. So you never know. Get up and try. Do some
Mhm,
research. But doing nothing, you're definitely going to know what you're going to get. You only miss
mhm.
100% of the shots you don't take. Take some shots, miss, learn from them. You're going to hit the target, keep shooting.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I want to spend some of the time that we have here left going a little bit further into the Bowen Law Firm. So maybe just tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, sure. We offer a wide gamut of law. We offer family law, everything with family law, meaning
Yeah.
divorces, modifications, child support, terminations, writs of habeas corpus, everything with family we can take care of. My favorite's
Mm,
adoption. Then we do probate, meaning when people pass. We also do
mhm,
the first part, the
mm,
wills and trust. We do personal injury. So if you're involved in an automobile collision, please give us a
mhm.
call. Use my doctors. Don't go out of pocket. Let me take care of it.
Yeah.
And general civil litigation. So we help companies form, we wind them up, breach of contract, debt defense, things of that nature, and a little bit more. But we're a family centered firm. Everything aside from immigration and criminal, if it's family based, we pretty much offer it in the little outskirts of it.
Yeah. And I know your kind of philosophy of behind, how you approach your clientele, how you approach, like, what do you think makes your firm special? Like, what do you think separates you?
It's our approach. We do
Mhm,
put the clients first, not what's best for us. It,
mhm,
we tell them right from the beginning what is wrong with the case as we see it and the truth. We don't make empty promises. There's no such thing as an open and shut case. And
mhm,
we help them see that. We set their expectations where they should be, and that usually
yeah,
makes it significantly easier in the process. We
yeah.
promise our best work and best efforts. We never promise an end result because we're not even allowed to.
Mhm. Yeah.
But we, again, shooting the client straight, making sure they stay informed, making sure when they're making decisions, they know the pros and cons of both and how we're getting there. Educating the
Mhm.
client is a key part here. The time you put on with them on the phone and emails makes a world of difference.
And refresh my memory on this one, Bo, on your location. I know last time we spoke, I think you were expanding at Champion off the top of my head. I'm probably saying it wrong. Like refresh my memory on the
You're right.
location.
Well, we got the building off of Champions and Strack, so now we have a
Yeah.
home location. The home office, not where I live. Kind of. I live here a lot. But we're off of Champions and Strack, 14202 Champion Forest Drive, Houston,
Mhm.
Texas, 77069. Of course, they can find us online at
Mhm.
www.bowen, Bowen, then LF as in law firm.com.
Mhm.
And of course, give us a call. We have people standing by from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday at 713
Mhm.
574 7777. That number again is 713 574 7777.
Fantastic. And yeah, I normally, as we're kind of wrapping up an interview, I normally ask, my guests, like, what's next? Like, what's going on? I'm going to take a little bit of your time and just say, man, I'm so thrilled that you're participating in our upcoming audio book. Like,
Me
I was
too.
like, it's our first time doing it. I talked to to the authors that are going to participate, and I'm like, hey, we're going to get this thing together. It's going to be big. So I just want to, again, thank you for being one of our authors that are going to, I won't say be our guinea pigs because we do audio production. I mean, we do all of this stuff all day long. We've launched over 150 shows, but we've never done an audio book. So if I could say you were going to be a guinea pig anytime, this would be that. So man, I really appreciate you participating.
Well, I'm glad y'all considered me as one of the people to do
Yeah,
it. I considered it an honor. Thank you. I
yeah.
hope my voice cuts it. I've actually been practicing a little bit on a tape I'm excited about it.
It's awesome. And so I guess a final question for you, Bo. I mean, you gave how people can follow up, but I do still want to ask you, I mean, what's next? Like what's on the horizon for you? What's on the horizon for your firm?
Well, we're hoping to expand. I'm always looking for new people. Always could use another great paralegal, another great attorney.
Yeah.
Looking to open up an office in Katy. We're still trying to find the right location. We're looking to sponsor the Sugarland Space Cowboys in the final half of the season. So I'm looking forward to going to some of those games. Uh, let's see. And other than the book coming up with the auto recording, that's the big thing I'm working on now. So
Yeah. It's awesome. Let's leave that contact info one more time to close it out.
I'm sorry. What, sir?
Let's have you leave your contact information one more time to close it out.
Perfect. So I like to say Bo knows law. And when the going gets tough, the tough get Bowen. And you get Bowen by calling 713-574-7777 or find us online at www.bowenlf as in law firm.com.
I better have gotten some Bo Knows Law. I still wear that shirt you sent me to the gym, and people still ask me, what is Bo Knows Law? And I'm like, oh, come on. You haven't heard of it? I'm in LA, so everybody wants to know something. I'm like,
Did you play on my song?
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, Bo. Well, for everybody watching, hey, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate your time as always. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, hit that subscribe button. We have many more mission-based entrepreneurs coming up on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. So again, hit that subscribe button. Bo, thanks again for coming back on, man. Really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you, sir.